Was geht, meine lieben Freunde und Uli, und herzlich willkommen zur 89. Folge von The House im Fata Morgana. Dieses Mal, lieben Freunde, die Freunde, erfahren wir die Story von Mel, wie es dazu gekommen ist, wieso er sie eingesperrt hat und so, weil für uns war es aus Morganas Perspektive einfach so, ja, er hat es verraten und eingesperrt, aber wieso? Wieso hat er das gemacht? Weil sie hat ja gesagt, freiwillig, sie würde das Blut noch weitergeben, so. Ja, wir sind in der 89. Folge by the way und ja, Freunde, ich bin sehr gespannt, was Mel zu erzählen hat. Es ist eine Bullshit-Story. Denkt man sich am Ende dann so, ich verstehe. Und denkt man sich, Bastard, warum hast du das getan?
Ja.
Ja, Freunde, schreibt gerne eure Predictions in die Kommentare. Und ich würde sagen, was schon bei der Jugend, let's go, oder?
Yes. Until around the time I turned 17, my life was mostly uneventful. On days when it was nice out, I would take walks around the houses, go around, sometimes napping beneath a tree. It was picturesque.
Under the tree.
Yeah. And you were always there with me. You have the same flax-colored hair as mine, and yours always seem to glisten in the sun, whereas mine is flat and dull. You shone like a tiny little dancing sun. At the time, I assumed that was how life would always be. I genuinely wanted it to be. Oh, sure.
Yo.
Following my 17th birthday, though, I was met with a deluge of changes.
Cool.
Changes. First, father fell ill and passed away shortly thereafter. With his death came the question of who would be the next head. As the oldest son, normally it would fall on me to take his place. I was 17, by all means enough of an adult to handle things myself. Oh well, that's what I was taught. What I thought anyway. Nobody else did though. After discussions I had no part in, it was decided that my uncle would be the next head. That was when they weren't confident I had the spine to do the job properly. I wasn't sure what to think. Part of me wanted to know why nobody bothered talking to me, and part of me was relieved. Somewhere inside I knew I didn't have what it took. So I was more than happy to let someone else take that responsibility. If it meant I could go on with my quiet life, I didn't care who they picked. My uncle, though, seemed to have caught on to my apathy, which he did not take kindly to, and in response he formally disowned me.
Yeah.
You're not the only one who still had some growing up to do, Nelly. I wasn't quite the adult I thought I was either.
Das war wirklich so fresh, Freunde.
Yes. Fortunately, if you want to call it fortune, I was given enough money to live on for a decent length of time, as well as a place to stay. It was a small house, far from home. Far from home?
Oh.
His way of making it hard for me to come back. Not that I had any intention of returning. But the best thing to come out of it all...
Was you. Wenn du 100% sagst.
Nee, da war das, wir beide so zusammen. Eben, ja. Was you coming with me, Nelly?
Soll ich dann Nelly lesen?
Ja.
Okay.
So, das ist our new home, dearest Mel.
Danke.
Yep. So, this is it. So it is.
Die sollten echt mal die Fata Morgana weiter ein bisschen mehr bezahlen.
Yeah. It's amazing how little there is. No big yards, no paintings, no vases filled with colorful flowers, no silver bowls full of fresh picked fruit.
But there is you and me. What to believe? Digga.
You're not going to go and say you want to return home in a couple months when you realize life isn't as luxurious as here as it was back there, are you?
There's only one thing in the whole wide world I really need.
Oh?
Honestly, I can live without shiny shoes, pretty dresses like mother wears. I don't need composers to come and write me songs for my birthday. As long as I have the one thing that matters most to me, I can do without anything else.
Are you saying
Hehe, I'm as happy as I've ever been. I don't need all that fancy, expensive stuff. We may not have a huge yard, but the sun shines everywhere. Everywhere. Flowers can grow even without a gardener tending to them.
Nelly.
I'll do whatever I can for you, dearest Mel. Are you hungry? I'm hungry.
Oh, yeah, a bit.
Alright, I'll make something then. Start off with some fruit jam, then maybe make a pie out of it. What else sounds good? I'm craving cookies.
Hahaha. You've got quite a sweet tooth. You're going to make yourself sick like that.
He. That's the first smile I've seen since we got here.
What? That can't be right. I'm sure I've been smiling.
Nope. You've been frowny all day.
Whatever you say.
Forget about all that stuff at home. We've got each other. We can do this. Who cares that we're not rich anymore? We figure things out in no time. And then we have even more fun than we did back there.
Yeah, you're right.
It'll all work out, dearest Mel. I'll always be here for you. You've got yourself an adorable little princess. What more could you possibly need? Cheer up!
Thanks. I'm really glad you decided to come with me.
Oh ho ho! Did you think for a second that I wouldn't? I'm your princess, dearest Mel. And princesses belong with their princes.
I suppose so. Until that day, I had never known how good it felt to have someone who wanted me in their life, who saw me for me. I realized for the first time how blessed I had always been. I was hardly prince material. I wasn't strong or handsome or regal enough for that. But Nelly calling me her prince gave me the illusion of being worth something. It made me feel like I could keep on being that richly blessed young man, even this far away from home. While I had been given some money, my supply was far from infinite. I knew I would eventually have to find some kind of work, some way to support myself and Nelly, but to be quite honest, I couldn't gather the motivation to do much of anything. My whole life had changed so abruptly, so dramatically, that my mind just wasn't able to keep up. It had knocked me on my backside, and I didn't have the strength to get back up. Couldn't tell Nelly that, of course, so this was what I said instead. I'm staying home because I want to be with you as much as possible. And she happily took me by my word, at my word. Our new life together was quiet and unremarkable.
So ein geiler Soundtrack, by the way, Freunde.
Even so, it was still a constant stream of new experiences for the two of us, having been pampered our entire lives. Welcome home.
Welcome home, dearest Mel. What did you buy today?
I got a chicken.
Wow! I've never seen one so close up before. Are we going to keep it as a pet?
I was planning on using it for supper.
What? You're going to cook it?
That's the idea. You like chicken enough, don't you? Steamed especially, if I remember right.
Yes! But...
Oha, ein Sound. Ich glaube, das ist der einzige Sound gewesen, bis auf Morgana, das Lachen.
Ja, es gibt noch so Schritte.
Ja, ich meine so.
But it's all covered in feathers and flapping about. How are we supposed to cook it?
I remember the guy said you have to pluck its feathers, then cut off its. and drank all the blood.
No way! Absolutely not. This is a really yes. You do it, man.
What? I've never done this before.
Well, I'm not. So you do it.
Alright. I bring it to the...
Not inside. Do it outside.
Oh, okay.
Boah, guck dich das Wasser an. Oh. Sehr schön.
I've never had to slaughter a chicken before. Ja, hatte noch nie Minecraft gespielt. The chefs back home always took care of it. God, I hope I don't screw this up. Well, I'm not going to accomplish anything if I just sit here worrying. Just gotta give it my best shot. Oh, please don't put up a fight. Come on. I can't watch! On the count of 3, okay? The count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wait! Come back!
Ach nee, es rennt weg.
Yeah.
No way, Digga.
It's gone.
Mel, du hast unnötig jetzt Geld ausgegeben für ein Chicken, was du nicht mehr getötet hast.
Ja, wie ist das denn passiert? At first, I was just fumbling about in the dark, constantly messing up everything I tried. But in time, I started getting more comfortable with things, and I stopped pinning for my old life. For the longest time, I couldn't shake the memory of the fact I had once been a noble. I was constantly wondering how I had ended up there, why this was happening to me. Nelly had seemed to have adjusted fairly quickly, but I wasn't faring so well. I was surprised, honestly. I figured if anyone was going to have an issue with our new lifestyle, it was going to be her, not me. Back home, Nelly had tended to be, well, a bit of a princess. She was frequently harsh with the Abigails, scolding them for the smallest of things. There were times I thought she might be biting her tongue for my sake, but every time it crossed my mind, she would say,
I've got you. Dearest man, everything's just fine.
And it was those words that kept me going.
Nice.
Those words.
Oh, dearest man. I just had the most wonderful idea. Would you like to hear it?
Sure, what's your idea?
We should get married.
What? You can't be serious.
As serious gets. I mean, we're basically married already and everything, but no.
We can't do that. We're siblings.
Nobody here needs to know that. Was schon hier crazy.
Yeah. They can guess from our hair and eye color, though.
I don't think we look that much alike.
Anyway, whatever gave you that idea?
If we get married, then we can be together forever. Forever and ever.
We can do that just as well as brother and sister.
It's not the same, dude. No one ever says two siblings lived happily ever after. I want to be with you for the rest of my life, dearest Mel. And the best way to do that is to get married.
But Nelly.
What are you so hesitant for? Is there someone you pine for?
No, but...
Then there's no problem.
We're blood-related siblings. Does she realize that getting married means eventually having children and everything that leads up to that? That goes against the teachings of the Lord. No, she's still just a kid chasing a fairy tale ending. After a fairy tale ending. War so in Fairy Tale auch? Mit Natsu und hatten da, oder? Irgendwelche Sus-Activities, wie man es in vielen Anime kennt.
Ja, halt, ja, overall sehr viel unnötigen Fanservice.
Ja, okay. Aber nicht sowas.
No.
Okay.
Obwohl?
Hat
Na, ich
der
glaub,
Mashi mal was geguckt? Hat sich
Ja.
da verkocht?
Ja, er hat halt so Charakter. Ja.
Ja, Romantik.
Ja, so wie ich hier, manchmal.
Yeah. She doesn't understand the reality of what she's saying. Sometimes I'm not sure what to do with you, Nelly.
So, you'll marry me?
But right now I know you need God's word. Starting tonight, you're getting your own private sermon every night, understand? My introduction was as much... My instruction was as much for my own sake as it was for Nelly's. I'm not going to lie. The thought did cross my mind that her proposition might not be so bad. Huh? For one, I couldn't imagine spending the rest of my life with anyone else, and it had been her smile that kept me going when things got difficult. But I knew that it was a sin, and I didn't think I would be able to live with myself if I crossed that line. So night after night, I taught her, reminded her that we were brother and sister, and that we didn't have to be anything more for her to be the most important person in the world for me. And after about our 3rd month away from home, that life began crumbling.
Wahrscheinlich wurde sie jetzt krank.
Nelly woke up one day with a high fever that refused to break. At first I thought it was just a cold and that she'd be over it soon enough. Die Frage ist auch, woher kommt es, wenn die nur die beiden sind, weißt du? Woher kommt dann die Krankheit? Oder was?
Fate.
Was ist es? But as much as I tried to convince myself, oh, she'll be better tomorrow, she just kept getting worse until eventually she couldn't even get out of bed. She had visibly lost weight, and I had never heard her voice so weak and lethargic before. Is there anything you'd like me to get you, Nelly?
All I want is you to be here with me. Dearest Mel.
You really should eat something. I'll make you something you like. How about a nice, expensive chicken? The last one got away, but I won't let that happen this time.
I'm not really in the mood for anything too heavy.
Okay.
Suppe. Don't you worry, Mel.
Soll ich mir auch machen? Eine Suppe?
I'll be better before you know it.
Yeah, you will. You'll be just fine. Everything's going to be back to normal soon.
Mm-hmm. Dun, 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 dun.
Watching Nelly grow weaker every day scared the hell out of me. I desperately did not want to lose her. If I lost her, then who would be left that wanted me? Who would tell me I was worth something? Who would say nice things about me? Who would be there with me every day? Just when I had started to feel optimistic about this new life, started to feel comfortable in it, it was looking like it might fall apart again. I searched everywhere for some medicine that could cure her. Healthy foods, fruits and vegetables with supposed medical properties. Anything I could get my hands on. I prayed. And Nelly, you were overjoyed. You were thrilled I would go to such lengths for you. But the reality is, I was really doing it for myself. I did it for me. But as much as I searched, I couldn't find anything that worked, and I started to panic. I would go to bed at night, afraid I'd wake up the next morning and Nelly wouldn't. I was already grasping at straws, and I was ready to try anything that had the slightest chance of curing her. But then one day I heard whispers. Whispers of a witch who lived by the lake. They said she was a recluse, that she had hardly ever left her house, that she hadn't been down to the city in years. They told me she might have some medical herbs that could help, so I rushed down to the lake to see her.
Jo.
Jag ser så ju för mig.
Jo.
Innan större.
Schön, Alter.
Sitting by the shore was a small cottage, even less luxurious than where Nelly and I were living at the time. Seeing the thin trails of smoke rising from the chimney, I was convinced the rumors were true. A witch lived in that house. I wasn't sure what to expect. Being a recluse, I figured she wasn't going to be very sociable, at least. To tell you the truth, I was kind of scared to knock on her door. But I had exhausted all other options, so I clenched my teeth and gave the door 2 firm raps.
Break your jaw, knock your teeth out. Who's there? Ah nee, warte mal. Das ist Morgana.
Ja, dann ich.
Ja, was?
Und was meinst du?
Hä?
Ja, was meinst du?
Nichts?
Okay. The sound of her voice caught me off guard and all I could do was stare at the door
habe ich gut den Sound auch gemacht.
with the knot in my throat. Based on the information I had, I'd assumed I was going to find a wrinkly old woman, but that was the sound of a young girl. Na, das ist gut Sound gemacht.
Ja.
Who's there?
Tut mir leid.
And even though she'd only said 2 words, there was something indescribably enchanting about that voice. Yeah, enchanting. I could listen to her talk for hours on end in some kind of strange hypnotic trance. It was almost like magic, for lack of a better word. I stood there, dumbfounded, like my soul had been sucked from my body.
Who's there?
She repeated the question, which brought me back to reality. Though I still had to fight to maintain my wits enough to respond coherently. My sister has fallen very ill, and she desperately needs medicine. I was told that the person who lives here is a skilled herbalist. Yeah, auf jeden Fall. Could I please get something to treat her?
What are her symptoms?
She's got an extremely high fever that won't come down. She's got no appetite. She's only drinking water, and she can't get out of bed. Ja, mach Suppe.
We're going to want to lower her fever first.
Mit so kaltem Tuch.
After that, get her on a nutritious diet. I'm going to give you 2 medications. Give her the first while her fever's high, and the second after it's come down.
Thank you very much. Her voice wasn't bright and energetic like Nellie's. It was more restrained, somber and quiet, yet simultaneously clear and sharp. The sound tickled my curiosity. I wanted to know what she looked like. I wanted to know what kind of girl stood on the other side of that door. With her voice that pretty, she must be equally lovely, I thought. And I had to see for myself. And my wish didn't fall on deaf ears. When she opened the door to hand me the herbal medicine and take my money, her head peeked out between the cracks ever so slightly. I said I would tell you everything exactly as it happened, so I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. It was unsettling. It was nothing like I had imagined from her voice. Her skin had, I guess, fallen off or something, because you could see the raw red flesh beneath.
Fallen off?
Yeah. To say it was hard to look at would be an understatement. Most of her face was covered by a black hood, so all I could see was her mouth and chin, but even that mouth much was harrowing. But the last thing I wanted to do was look away. For all I knew, that was why she had become a recluse. And I couldn't let myself hurt her, so I suppressed my own disgust and put on my best smile. People often tell me I have a very pleasant, amiable smile. So I figured I could use that to prevent her from picking up on what I was actually going through my mind. And when she saw my face, a look of surprise seemed to cross hers. The witch's herbs did indeed seem to help some.
Amiable heißt liebenswürdig.
The witch's herbs did. Going to visit her was better than talking to any of the local doctors. Nonetheless, Nellie hadn't been cured. She was only feeling a little bit better. So I kept paying the witch visits, kept purchasing more herbs from her. And every time I went to the cottage and heard her sweet voice, I imagined how much sweeter it would sound without the door obstructing it. Even knowing what she would look like didn't stop the curiosity from growing within me. From what I gathered talking to her, there wasn't much of an age difference between us either. She was 16 and I was 17. And I'm sure you know how it is. When you meet someone around your age, you feel sort of sense a sort of sense of kinship. This girl I had originally believed to be some kind of otherworldly witch was starting to feel like a regular person, like me. Through our conversations, I managed to learn her name, as well as the fact that she had come here from a faraway country. We were both a long way from home, thinking she might open up even more to someone who never been through a similar experience. Who had been through a similar experience. I decided to try inviting her to go on a walk with me. It's not happy to stay holed up inside all the time. We've got this beautiful lake right here. What do you say we take a little walk around this shoreline? Also wir haben ja genau das gesehen von Morganas Perspective, ne?
Aha.
Dann mal schauen, wie das hier ausgeht. To my surprise, she accepted.
Oh, guck dich den See an, Freunde.
Oh, cool.
Sehr cool.
Also von dem Bild hier sieht ihr Gesicht gar nicht so drin aus. Aber vielleicht sieht es nur so aus, weil sie ihre Hut anhat.
Morgana.
Wir haben sie immer noch nicht gesehen ohne die Hut auf, oder? Auch im...
Nö.
Wann war das? Da 7 Ende? Oder wo war das? Ja. Oder dazwischen? Great weather, isn't it? I love the way the sun reflects off the surface of the lake. It's gorgeous. Are you okay?
I'm in disbelief, to tell you the truth.
Huh? What for?
You've seen my face, you know how hideous I am, and still you invited me on a walk. You're a very peculiar person.
Is it really that strange? I mean, we're almost the same age, so I figured we might make pretty good friends.
You want to make friends with me?
Well, sure. We've been through a lot of the same things, so we can understand each other better than most.
Understand each other?
Yeah, we're both young, but we've been through some rough times.
I'm going to be blunt with you. You have not been through anything like I have.
True. What? No?
If you had experienced the things I have, you wouldn't be smiling right now. I haven't known you long, but I don't need to have in order to know how unequivocally dissimilar we are. That we were cut from a very different cloth.
Well, yeah. We're people, we're not made of cloth, so...
That's not what that means, you know.
I can't the expression nicht. Oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be so harsh. In fact, I would say you're much better off not being in my position.
It sounds like you've been through a lot. If you don't mind me asking, what happened to you? I'd be happy to lend an ear. It might make you feel better to get it off your chest.
And that is what's so different about us.
Huh?
I will not tell you about myself, no. That said, I do appreciate the concern. Thank you.
Sure, you're right. She's not very open with people, huh? Though I guess that's only to be expected. She hasn't spent much time around other people, looking the way she does. I wonder if there's anything I can do for her.
Ja, in den Tower ablocken.
Yeah. At least get her to show a little bit of emotion.
Ja, dann zeigt sie Rage.
Say, if it's not too much to ask, you think we could maybe do this again sometime?
Don't expect me to lower my prices.
I'm not trying to squeeze a better deal out of you. I just want to get to know you better. Nothing more to it. No ulterior motives, promise.
Did you forget I've already said I won't be telling you about myself?
Alright, then it doesn't have to be about you. We can talk about anything, whatever you want. Do you have a favorite food? Any hobbies?
Nothing in particular.
Well, that was a fruitful conversation. Okay, crap.
Krabbengoyle. I have no interests or tastes worth mentioning, So if you want to talk, I suppose that leaves you to the subject.
To be the subject.
You to be the subject.
Me?
Tell
Me?
Tell me about yourself.
My life's not all that exciting. Anything I had to tell you would probably just bore you.
I'm not looking for excitement.
Oh, okay. Well, alright then. I guess I can tell you about myself. And so I did. I told her about my family situation. And I told her about Nelly. And that was pretty much all I had to talk about. For the most part, she hardly even reacted to anything I said, so it was difficult to tell if she was listening or not. But she would urge me to continue whenever I'd go quiet for more than a few moments, so I suppose she was listening. Every time I came to purchase her medicine, we would go on a walk around the lake together. A single loop around the shoreline didn't give us much time to talk, but my attempts to reduce our walking pace or stop to extend our time together were flatly ignored. And she refused to go around more than once, claiming it would disturb her daily rhythm. That said, she never refused an invitation either, so I don't think she particularly disliked me. Yet, anyway. Oh, a robin.
Guck dich den Hintergrund an, dieser Vogel.
Ist echt so schön, das ist immer so Malerei.
Nico Robin hier einfach jetzt.
Ja.
Da ist sie. What does a robin have to do with your sister? Was ist ein Robin?
Das ist eine Art Vogel.
Ah.
Kannst du googeln, wenn du willst.
Na, haben wir doch mal aufhören.
Nothing. I just saw one over there. If you listen, you can hear it singing. Wie im Sumpf oder so. They migrate somewhere warmer when it gets cold. They just fly off to some place more comfortable. If I had wings like a bird, maybe I could be free too. Shoot!
There's not a single creature living in this world that is free.
Oh. It's line. What?
Birds regularly get shot down by hunters or preyed on by larger birds. The idea that they are free is nothing more than man's short-sighted delusion.
Sorry, I guess.
No, I should be apologizing. I wasn't trying to attack you. I simply lack the ability to properly empathize with others. I do not understand people. So please, if I say anything that upsets you or makes you uncomfortable, don't assume that was my intention.
Sure. Maybe you're hiding it, or maybe you just don't know it yet, but I think you've got more empathy than you're letting on. Surely you can't say nothing affects you at all. You are human. So you don't have to be so closed off. I might not be able to do much for you, but I do want to get to know you better. I want to understand you. So if you ever feel like talking about yourself, just know that you've got an eager pair of ears here. Okay?
If there were ever someone who could understand me, who could empathize with me, they would not be human. Als er gesagt so on to God.
What do you mean?
That you would need to be far removed from any idea of humanity to have a chance at understanding me. Regardless, I do appreciate your kind words.
Sure. So,
Ja, rascher Jugend.
So, out of curiosity, do you have anyone really important in your life?
Not at the moment.
Does that mean you used to? I'd love to hear about them, if you don't mind.
They're all long dead. 4 years ago, something unpleasant occurred. And as a result of that, I was forced to part ways with the people who taught me that humans have the capability for kindness.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Daraus lässt sich erschließen, dass sie davor nicht die Capability hat, zu wissen, dass Humans Kindness haben. Ja, also kann sich Mel denken. Also wir wissen es ja schon. Well then, if your sister's condition worsens again, come see me. Farewell.
Hey, maybe we could walk a little slower next time, so we have more time to talk. I want to get to know you better.
I consider it.
Does that really require that much thought?
So long. Hey, so long. So long.
Bye. See you soon. Things continued on like that for a while. Nelly bounced back and forth between getting better and getting worse. Emotionally, I followed not far behind, getting very little in the way of peace of mind. Having to spend so much time worrying over and looking after Nelly was starting to wear me out. Even though I knew good and well she had it much worse than me. I wanted to be done with it all. I wanted to be free. I wanted her to get better as soon as possible, so I could stop agonizing over her. So at some point I started wishing for a miracle. I didn't care if it came from God, an angel, or something less holy. I just wanted someone to cure Nelly and take the weight off my shoulders. And during one of our walks, I let that slip. I'll take anything at this point to make her better. I'll even take a miracle if I can get one. I assumed she would, as she had the tendencies to say that people who believed in miracles were delusional. She was, in my mind, very much a realist, which is why her response surprised me so much.
Do you sincerely wish for a miracle?
What?
Do you truly want a miracle, no matter what form it may take?
Well, yeah. I've tried everything else. God is all I can ask for help anymore. I know what you're going to say. There's no such thing as miracles. If there were, Nelly would already be better. I've prayed every single night for her recovery. It's all just delusion, I know.
Miracles do exist.
What?
If you have faith and you sincerely wish for her to be healed, you will be granted your miracle.
What are you talking about, Morgana?
You've said many times that you wish to know more about me.
Yeah, I have.
Well, I grant you that wish. As you listen to my story, you will come to understand why I said you will never be able to empathize with me. And as you do, hope will sprout up within you. Here in my lakeside cottage I am known as a witch, but I did not used to be called such.
No.
I am the daughter of God.
Most people would dismiss such a claim as madness, and I almost did exactly that. But there was something strangely enchanting about her voice, and I found myself slowly drawn into her tale, listening intently to her every word. The more I heard, the harder it was to believe she was lying. And before long, I was convinced she was the daughter of God, a saint whose blood had miraculous powers. Her first career ended a lengthy drought in the village where she was born, and her blood cured the sick. She rolled up one sleeve to show me her arm. Practically every inch of her skin from the shoulder to the tips of her fingers was scarred from where she had been cut. According to her, the scarring had once been far worse, but had improved with the application of ointment. Every single one of those scars, she said, marked the person who had sought her blood. And I believed every word. There was something about her that set her apart from the rest of us normal people, like she was some higher being. They were not self-inflicted wounds, not the marks of someone who had tried to take her own life, but symbols of the great sacrifice she had made. She offered to give Nelly her blood, and without a moment's hesitation, I accepted. Oh, we back? Okay. Jo, sorry.
Digga, was? Dieser Soundeffekt ist normalerweise, wenn er speichert. Dieses glaube ich.
Oh, dude. Hey Nelly, I'm back. And I brought someone with me, a saint.
A saint?
Yep, she's here because medicine hasn't been working for you. She can perform miracles, so she's going to cure you.
Miracles?
That's right, her blood has miraculous healing powers.
Blood? Fear not, my beloved sister. Hear my words and do as I say. You must have faith for the miracle to be performed correctly. I give you my blessing, that it may bestow unto you salvation. I give you my love, and I give you relief. Hear my words. I hear them.
Ich glaube, das ist so der Morgana Soundtrack.
Maybe. This body was created not in a mortal womb. This flesh is not the flesh of man. This blood is not the blood of man. The water that flows through these holy veins flows from the river of creation. Have mercy on them, O Father. May the infirm find comfort in your warmth. May the destitute find reprieve in your generosity. He's your top-level con artist. May my flesh bring nourishment and health unto this girl. Bestow upon her your blessing, O Father.
Morgana had a pale hand above Nelly's mouth and, without hesitation, sliced her own wrist. Blood slowly trickled down her middle finger from the cut, dripping into the gap between Nelly's bluish lips. I stood there entranced by the scene. It was like I was witnessing some kind of ritual. I wasn't sure, however, whether to describe it as sacred or profane. Watching the fresh blood trickle from the cut on her wrist made me break into a sweat, feeling like I was violating a taboo. My knees rattled and I could barely stay on my feet. Needles prickled my hands. Thoughts slipped through my fingers before they could fully form. Had I crossed the line that wasn't meant to be crossed? Had I stepped into territory man was never supposed to enter? In time, I stopped processing Morgana's prayers as words. Oha. It became nothing but a rhythmical sequence of sounds bouncing around in my head. My line of sight grew gradually narrower. Oh.
Wahrscheinlich Schmerzen einfach.
Ich glaube, es ist einfach so, wie nennt man das? Das davor hat er ausgeblendet, du weißt schon, weil er so eine Trance war.
Ja, maybe.
Eigentlich Wort sein wie
Thought,
ja.
Thought.
What? Ja, hier, are you right? So hat sie gesagt.
You're right. Ah. The ceremony is complete.
How's Nelly?
She is asleep right now, but she should awaken soon.
Oh, good.
My blood has the power to cause miracles, but you must remember that the miracle is predicated on your faith. Also immer, wenn es falsch geht, du hast nicht genug Faith.
Ja. So you're saying we need to worship you?
No, I am merely God's progeny. Your praises and prayers should be directed at my Father, the Lord God. I should get going then.
Hey, thank you very much. When Morgana had said I would never be able to understand or empathize with her, she had not been lying. Having only heard her tell of it, I still believed there was room for me to close the gap between us. That we still had enough in common. But seeing it with my own eyes, feeling it with my entire being, I no longer had any illusions of us being on the same plane. As I gave her my thanks, My voice was audibly trembling.
Mel, come on, get up, dearest Mel. Oh, Mel!
Nelly?
Aha, finally, you're awake, sleepyhead. What's with the look? Am I making a funny face?
Are you good to be up and about?
Yep, I woke up this morning feeling wonderful. Feel my forehead, Mel. See? No fever. Aber wir wissen ja laut der Story, dass er dann wiederkommt, weil es ihr dann wieder schlechter ging, nur für kurze Dauer.
So ist es in Morganas Story gewesen. It is. It's gone. She actually performed a miracle.
I only remember bits and pieces, but I remember a really pretty saint lady showing up.
Yeah.
Pretty? I don't know about that one. And giving me her blood.
That's how she remembers it? Her memory is pretty hazy, huh?
And then I got this warm, fuzzy feeling inside me. Then I had this really strange dream.
What kind of dream?
There were a whole bunch of lights floating all around me, and they were changing into all sorts of different colors. It was the most wonderful dream.
That doesn't help me understand at all, Nelly.
It was a good dream, and that's what matters. It must have been the Saint Lady's power at work.
Must be, yeah. I'm so relieved you're feeling better, Nelly.
Sorry for all the trouble I caused you, but now everything can go back to normal.
Yep, all back to normal.
She wants to thank me. Emoji the pose.
Yeah, Nelly's insisting I let her meet you so she can show her gratitude. So, if it's alright, would you mind coming to supper sometime?
Ja, wir wissen ja schon, dass das nicht passieren wird. Weil sie hat gesagt, sie hat sie nur da getroffen. Wie sie sonst wissen, wie sie aussieht. That would probably not be wise.
Huh? Why not?
It would hardly be pleasant having to eat in the presence of a face as grotesque as mine. An adopted sister would react well to the sight of it.
I don't think it would cause any problems. Nelly isn't the kind of girl to judge someone based by their looks, I don't think. You're a bad man.
You look like a bad man.
Yeah.
Perhaps not, but to her I'm a saint, not a normal person. In her mind she thinks I'm beautiful, doesn't she?
Yeah.
We must maintain that illusion. It is essential to the miracle that her faith remains unwavering, and on some level that faith depends on her idealized image of me.
Fair enough. You think so?
Though our time together was brief, I could see it in her. She is a girl with a great love of beauty. And perhaps the same could be said of you.
I don't judge people by how they look.
You're disgusting.
It's what's inside that matters.
I'll take you at your word.
Thanks. So, are you sure you don't want to come?
I really shouldn't. I'm really terribly sorry.
Oh, okay. Why in the world am I feeling relieved?
Zählt ihren Bruder Mel.
Nelly recovering was a huge weight off my shoulders. Now everything could go back to the way it was, quiet and unremarkable. I could finally go out and get a real job, forget about my old life, live like a regular old commoner. That was what I was going to do, for the both of us. The problem was, Nelly hadn't actually recovered completely. She was in nearly perfect health the first few days after drinking Morgana's blood, but soon, her fever came back. She stopped being able to get out of bed, and to top it all off, she started having lengthy coughing fits. During some of them, she coughed up little bits of blood. Phlegm. I nearly had a panic attack. So I rushed down to Morgana's cottage and told her what was happening, to which she responded with a quizzical tilt of her head. So,
What could this be? Warte. Schleim.
also Blutschleim.
Schleim.
Jetzt Blut hochgespuckt.
Okay.
Nelly's health meant everything to me. It certainly wasn't the curiosity her head tilt seemed to make it out to be. But it didn't seem to bother her at all.
The miracle took place, but it didn't persist. That doesn't make much sense.
But it's true, she can't get out of bed. And it's not a problem with her faith. Was vielleicht Mel's faith? Was vielleicht Mel's faith? Oder liegt es nur an
Maybe, I don't know.
Nelly's faith? I've been teaching her the word of God every night. And she absolutely believes in you, in her saint.
Lower your voice. I will perform another miracle for her.
You'll do it again?
I will not forsake those who are in need.
And it'll stick this time, right?
I cannot promise anything.
But why? Your miracles aren't supposed to be temporary, are they?
Whether they are or not is decided by you and your sister.
You're my only hope, though.
Please do not worry. If a second blessing is not enough to cure her of her ailment, then I will visit and give her my blood as many times as is necessary. I will gladly give her every last drop of blood in my body. Eben, sie sagt es hier so. Aber warum lockt sie dann ab? Also,
The story is incomplete.
ja, nee, als Morgana das erzählt hat, hatte sie gesagt, so, vielleicht war es out of guilt, einfach so immer so zu fragen und deswegen war es leichter für ihn einfach sie einzusperren. Mal schauen. I assure you, my father does not want to see two young souls like yourselves torn apart. And neither do I. We should get going.
Alright. For the second time, Morgana had Nelly drink of her blood. And for the second time, she was healthy again the next morning.
Ich dachte immer, ist doch irgendwas mit ihrem Blatt, aber kann nicht sein, dass wirklich
Ja,
immer so ist.
oder die meint ja so Placebo-Effekt, aber I don't know. Das wäre schon crazy, Placebo-Effekt. Vor allem, wenn es jetzt zweimal funktioniert. And for the second time, she fell ill again shortly thereafter. Vielleicht liegt es auch daran, manchmal, obwohl ich weiß nicht, ob das was damit zu tun hat, aber so Blutgruppe oder sowas. Her fever returned and I went to get Morgana and she gave Nelly her blood. Also zum dritten Mal. The cycle repeated again and again. And every time I had to watch her go through that ceremony, it was exhausting. And I wasn't sure I could handle it much longer. I started thinking maybe there wasn't anything sacred about any of this. That it was all blasphemous as it looked from the outside. I was making a girl cut her own wrist and feed my sister her blood. Nothing about that sounded right. But I had nowhere else to go, no one else to ask for help. When I was with Morgana, listening to her words of reassurance, she, without fail, whipped away all the doubt I had. It wasn't until after she left that the wave of regret hit me. I wasn't sure what was right and wrong anymore. I wasn't sure what to do.
Ich weiß nicht mehr, was ich, ja, was soll das? Entscheide es hier und jetzt.
I wasn't sure what to do anymore. Every time I went to see Morgana, it got more and more difficult to look her in the eye. I stopped asking her on walks as often, and I stopped trying to have chats with her, not so much out of sense of guilt, but because I was getting to be afraid of her. One of those draining days, someone knocked on the door.
Kimasa oder Jacopo?
I hadn't asked Morgana to come down that day, so I wasn't sure who it could be here. Nelly was asleep in her bed, so I quietly rose from my seat and made my way to the door, trying not to wake her. Who is it? Hello? Who's there? I had an inkling of a suspicion, but having been raised in such a sheltered environment, I didn't understand exactly how dangerous it was to thoughtlessly open the door to anyone who came knocking. I pulled the door inward a couple inches and tried to take a peek through the crack.
So dumm, Digga, dann kann man einfach aufschlagen.
When out of nowhere, someone grabbed my shoulder and shoved me, helpless to resist, into the house. A man stood there above me. Yeah.
Yuki Masa.
Mhm. What do you think you're doing? What do you want from me?
Jetzt smile, I will kill you.
I don't have anything valuable. I'm just a regular old peasant.
I'm not here to rob you.
What?
I'm here to kill you. You're in contact with the witch, are you not?
Huh?
The girl who lives by the lake calls herself a witch.
Witch? I don't know any witch. The only one who lives there is a saint.
A saint? I was told she was a witch. But regardless, there's a girl who lives there with miracle blood, no?
Ah.
Looks like I've got the right person.
What do you want from me?
I want you to help me.
Huh?
I need you to lure the witch out into the open.
And why do you need that?
Because I need her blood. I need to get my hands on the witch's miracle blood.
Then go ask for it yourself. Then go ask her for it yourself. Why should I have to help you?
She won't open the door for me. But you, I've seen you talking to her. You seem to be quite friendly with the witch. Taking little walks around the lake.
How?
I need your help.
And what are you going to do once you have her outside?
I have orders from the Lord to take her captive.
What? The Lord? Why would he?
That is none of your concern.
You expect me to buy that?
All I need from you is to get the witch out of that house.
Why would I?
She doesn't trust me. I could always force my way in, but there's a chance something might go wrong and I can't risk it. If she hears your voice, she'll open the door, yes? The witch trusts you, unlike me. Ah. Yeah. She doesn't trust you. Obviously, she doesn't trust you. Weißt du noch, ne? Das war ja mit den ganzen Sklaven, To-Be-Slaves, die er einfach abgeschlachtet hat.
Ja.
Nur sie am Leben gelassen hat. The witch trusts you, unlike me. Ich hatte gerade vergessen, warum trustet sie ihm nämlich nochmal. Ja.
Stimmt.
With your help, there's no risk of anything going wrong.
You barge in here and you tell me you want to capture her and you think I'm going to agree to help? Like hell I will.
Oh, don't worry, you'll get your share. You need the witch's blood too, right?
I don't care about getting a share. You're asking me to deceive her. I don't care what you think she is. She hasn't done anything wrong. So no, I won't help you capture her.
You leave me no choice then. Jetzt guckst du zur Seite, I will kill your sister.
Yeah. What? Ah! He approached the bed where Nelly slept, drawing his sword and pressing the tip against her throat. It happened so quickly and without any warning, my mind couldn't keep up. I stood there, mouth half open like an idiot. If I were courageous, if I were gallant and brave, then maybe I would have grabbed him, pulled him away from Nelly. Ja, hätte nicht viel machen können, aber... But my legs seemed to have severed from my mind. They were frozen to the floor like two useless rocks.
You have two options. Either you say no and protect the witch,
Get away!
or you help me capture her.
Get away from her right now!
And if you choose the witch, I kill the girl.
Get away!
Make your decision.
Get away from her!
You have until the count of 10. If you don't choose, I kill the girl. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Okay. I'll do it. I'll help you. So get your sword out of her face. Don't kill her.
I thought you thought out until the last second.
Dachte ich auch.
Ja, nee. Well, what are you waiting for? Let's get going. Get moving! You pitiful little boy.
I felt like jumping into a lake.
And dude,
I couldn't make sense of how I ended up in such a position. Just a few months earlier, I had been living back at my family's estate, hardly a worry in the world. Nelly had been healthy and happy. It hadn't been exciting, no, but I had figured out that was how things would always be. That one day, I would fall for some noble girl, Nelly would get jealous, and I would have to spend several days or even weeks pacifying her. Everyone would be happy, a life free of troubles, because that was normal, and I was normal. So what I was doing living in some tiny cottage so far from home, feeding my sick sister miracle blood? What was I doing walking beside this barbarian? What was I doing at all? I was conflicted. Part of me hoped we would never arrive at the lake, and part of me wanted to get there as quickly as possible so I could be done with all this. But time plodded on no quicker or slower than normal, and we arrived at Morgana's door in short order, irrespective of my own selfish hopes. The thought of what was going to happen next filled me with a crushing sense of guilt.
ja stimmt, warte mal, er hat ja jetzt hier den Arm abgeschlagen, glaube ich, ne?
Yeah,
Von Morgana.
I think so.
So, warum? Als ob sie dann noch so wegrennen könnte.
I may have been afraid of Morgana, but I had no grudge against her. I was actually quite grateful to her. She was still healing Nelly, even if the ceremony to do so inspired fear in me. She didn't hesitate to cut her own wrist open for Nelly and for me. She didn't grimace or even frown, though I knew it had to hurt. I knew damn well she wasn't a bad person, that she hadn't done anything to warrant being taken into custody. She might very well have been a genuine saint, but there I was selling her out because a man with a sword threatened me. Oh Father who art in heaven, please forgive me for what I'm about to do. Please forgive me.
Quit sniveling. You want her to get suspicious?
But how? I can't, oh please God, oh God!
Stop crying.
Yeah.
Or would you rather I kill you here? Just close your eyes. It'll be over before you know it. Dude. Dude. Call on the witch. Who's there?
It's me. I'm not here about Nelly today. I'm sorry for being so distant lately. I want to talk things over. I thought I heard a faint gasp through the door. And then she responded.
I want to talk to you too.
Why? Why did she want to... Why did she have want... Why did she have to want to talk now? She had always been so curt, so rational, so quick to cut my fantasies. Never one to get emotional or sentimental. She had always given off the impression of being something greater than we mere humans. Always been so aloof, never giving any indication she thought anything of me at all. So why? Why did she sound like a normal girl now? Why was her voice trembling slightly when she said she wanted to talk? Why now of all times?
Get back! No! Stay away from me! No! Help! Don't kill me! Take it.
What?
That's your share. Should last you long enough. Why? Why? Did you take my arm? What do you mean by share? Why? Digga, Mel, Alter.
It all happened in less than a minute. I told her I wanted to talk. She opened the door. Then I heard a sound like the wind whipping past my ear, and the next thing I knew, her cottage was covered in blood. Never once did I expect anything to happen how it did. When he said he wanted to capture her, I took it to mean exactly that. I hadn't thought he would turn brutal, that he would do something so horrific. After the man cut her arm off, Morgana tumbled to the floor, floundering about as he watched, blood trickling down as he curved blade in his hand. Her screams were indistinguishable from those of a normal person. Kneeling in the grass at the lake shore, I vomited and I vomited. The things I had seen in the cabin were far too much for me to handle. I tossed the arm, and Morgana's arm the man had given me into the lake. What else was I supposed to do with it? It was an arm, a human arm. You would have to be insane to go about carrying someone's severed arm. I tried to convince myself it was all a dream, some terrible nightmare, but I could still feel the warmth of her skin flesh on my hands.
Das, weil du wasted sogar auch noch.
The warmth of her blood on my fingers dragging me back to reality. Ich weiß auch nicht. Jetzt hat er gerealized, er braucht den Arm doch und ist in den Lake gejumpt. My mind couldn't keep up with the flood of thoughts and emotions and images. I wanted to close my eyes, but I was too afraid I would find the bloodbath in the cottage on the back of my eyelids, which left me with nothing to do but wail. I was horrified at what I had done. I knew that I was the one who had set it all in motion. If I had kept quiet, Morgana wouldn't have had her arm cut off. But I didn't want to admit it was my fault. I didn't want to accept I had caused it. I did nothing wrong. It's not my fault. He threatened me. Ich meine, was hätte er machen sollen? Ich weiß auch nicht genau. So, it's not my fault. I had no choice. I hätte irgendwie sie versuchen können zu warnen, genau. I didn't do anything. I frantically scrubbed my blood-soaked clothes in the lake. As I watched the red cloud spread, I knew I was defying something pure and beautiful, but my awareness of the fact was slowly dissipating like the blood through the clear water. But by the time I had gotten all the blood off my clothes, the sun was beginning to set. I came back to my senses at the sound of a bird chirping and quickly recalled that I had left Nelly all alone at her house. My legs were shaking and I could barely keep myself upright, but remembering her gave me enough motivation to drag myself back home. If she hadn't been there waiting for me, I seriously might have thrown myself into the lake instead.
What's the matter, dearest Mel? Where have you been? Ist schon an. Mel.
I'm so sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Will you ever be able to forgive me?
Dearest Mel?
I never meant for this to happen. I'm so sorry. Please, I'm begging you to forgive me. I'm begging you.
Well, were you not able to get my medicine? Is that what you're crying about? It's not that big a deal, Mel. I'm just fine, honest. I'm alright.
Thanks. I wanted to forget everything. I wanted to forget about my involvement, about the horrible things I caused to happen. But whenever I lay down to go to sleep, I heard her screams of Morgana's animalistic howls. I saw her cottage, blood splattered everywhere. I felt her severed arm, still warm in my hands. From that day on, what sleep I got was hardly restful. Nelly probably didn't notice anything through her feverish haze, but when willing to bed I looked like hell. Praying time would cause the memory to fade. I started looking for doctors again. Instead of clinging to a miracle, I would try to have Nelly's sickness cured the way normal people did. At some point though, all that money I'd been given started running low. If I'd thought about it for 2 seconds, I would have seen it coming. I hadn't exactly been frugal in my attempts to find a cure for Nelly, nor had I been especially concerned about money before she fell ill. I was so used to living like an aristocrat, and I hadn't succeeded in breaking those old habits, which left me with only one thing I could do for Nelly: be with her day in and day out. Every day that passed, I lost a little more hope. If I couldn't do anything and Nelly died, I would be utterly alone. And that was what scared me more than anything. Nightmares were eating away at me, leaving me with nowhere to run. And if I didn't have someone there with me, I wouldn't have been able to hold myself together. After 3 or so days of me sitting by Nelly's bedside, hardly moving, there was a knock on the door. Who's there? Who is it?
Open your door. Unless you want me to kick it down.
My suspicion was correct. I couldn't think of anyone else who would come visit. But what I didn't know was why he had come back. With an armhound or what? I don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Open your door.
Leave me alone, please. I want nothing to do with anything you're doing.
Open your door.
No, I'm not letting you in for any reason.
Okay then, I'll break it down.
Yeah, the dawn. My sister's inside, sleeping. I don't need you waking her up.
Und deswegen schreist du hier Mel, then open it.
What do you need? I did everything. Show the compassion.
Show the mercy. I'm gonna fuck damn it.
I did everything you asked me to do already.
Freunde, Digga, lecker Schmecker. What happened to the witch's arm?
I threw it away. You really think I was going to keep that? A person's arm?
Mel, what's going on? Do we have a visitor?
No.
I should get them something to drink.
Don't worry about it, Nelly. Did you get some sleep, alright? Can we go outside? I'd rather not talk in here.
Fine by me. So that's your sister. Explains why you look so much alike.
That's none of your damn business.
You wanted the miracle blood to cure your sick sister, did you not? And you're telling me you threw the arm away?
Yeah.
Are you interested in getting more blood?
What?
We're taking the witch's blood, turning it into medicine and selling it through the church.
Selling it? You're doing business in a house of worship?
No, I suppose we're technically giving it away, but we're asking for tithes. So really, it's the same thing. I'm not from this land, so to me, it looks no different than a business. But the people here, they see it as charity. The Lord says, if you'll assist us, He'll provide you with the medicine we're making.
Lord? Why would the Lord be...
Why? Because it seems like giving money? So, will you help us?
You're gonna make me get my hands dirty for you again? I can't. Not again.
Alright, I forgot to mention one detail. You don't have a choice this time.
Huh?
This time. You know about the miracle blood, which means we can't let you go unattended. If you say no, I have permission from the Lord to kill you on the spot.
Why?
So, will you help us?
Nah.
Or will you die here?
No, it's the trailer. What was the right thing for me to do then? Should I have fought back and died? Should I have tried to run? Should I have taken my own life? I'm sure you've heard enough to know by now that I'm a weakling, a pushover. I didn't have the spine to do anything but agree to meet with the Lord. He told me about the mansion and he gave me a set of 3 keys. I wanted so badly to get rid of the key, but with that man's shadow constantly hanging over me, I couldn't bring myself to do it. Not when I could be the next one to end up losing a limb or 2. There was no way I could have disobeyed them. And that's everything that happened 6 months ago. Every day since I arrived here, I've brought Morgana breakfast and supper. She doesn't say anything, but I saw it in her eyes the first time I stepped through her door. How could you do this to me?
Fuck.
Nee, es sagt sie nicht, sondern es denkt er sich nur. Deswegen habe ich gelesen. I've never looked her in the eyes since, because I'm too afraid of what I might see in them. Achso, jetzt sind wir wieder hier arrived.
Das war's, meine lieben Freunde, das neue Nummer. Nehmt ihr lecker, danke, schaut.
Sehr gut. Ciao.